let's get to this very controversial scripture right here. That it's fair. It's fair that somebody would have a question right here. So Revelation 21 and 24. Look what it says. And the nations of them which are saved, of them which are saved. The nations are saved, is what Revelation 21 and 24 is saying. The nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. That's very important to understand what it is, but let's keep going. And the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honor into it. So, what do we do with this? Yashar Union, the water family, So, right here it's saying the nations are going to be saved. We teach the nations will not be saved. So, either one of three things is going on. Look at this. Somebody said that's talking about Israel.
Right.
Wrong. But that's okay. And I don't say that to put you on the spot, family, but I just use you as an example of brothers that might read this, sisters that might read this, and completely butcher it and get it wrong. This is not talking about Israelites getting saved. It's not. When it says the nations of them which are saved, this is talking about heathens. Now don't leave yet and say, Hassad's teaching that the heathen, the white man, he can be saved. That's not what I'm teaching. Just slow down. We're going to unpack this, I promise you. That's why I have this titled the way that I do. The one Bible verse that all Hebrew Israelites are terrified of. Because most people don't care to do any research. They just...
All right, Shalom. This is Howard One by Yasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim, La Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Ha Rakar Kodash, Ma'amah. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, and Nakwatim, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four quarters of the earth. Excuse me. Matter of fact, give me a second. Put my earpiece on. All right, so let's go to. Hopefully, I can hear me. Let's go to the chapter that he brought out and basically went off on. All right. Revelations 21, 24. It speaks about the Israelites not going off anymore and actually serving Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai after being redeemed from captivity and from this earth. All right. And the nations shall follow under us. That's what it's talking about. And the kings shall bring all of their riches and wealth, and I'm gonna get the scriptures on it if I have time. They're gonna bring that into the kingdom, but they're gonna be serving under us, and the law shall go forth from Israel. That's what this is talking about. And so allow me to elaborate, because he clearly went off. He said it's talking about the nation's gonna be saved. It don't matter what scriptures he go to. His point is invalid because he don't understand what the light is. He's saying it. We're gonna see what it is. Look, this is Revelations 21, 24. And the 12 gates were 12 pearls. All right. Every several gates was of one pearl, and the street of the city was of pure gold. All right. So this is talking about who? The elect. The 12 gates represent the 12 tribes of Israel. All right. And it said the street thereof is going to be of what? Pure gold. Now, it says, as it were, transparent glass. All right. And I saw no temple therein. So this is not talking about a physical building. This is talking about a people. Okay, it's talking about the Israelites. Actually, initially talking about the elect. So it's not talking about a physical temple coming out of the sky in Revelations 21. It's talking about a people being made perfect and pure and righteous. That's the light. And that light is only going to be given to the Israelites. And the nations are going to walk in the light of it, but not. This is not talking about those nations that are saved. This is talking the ones where it says saved is talking about the Israelites. All right, but the nations will walk in the light of it, meaning they're going to walk according to Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai's law, righteousness. They're going to be put under that. Righteousness is going to rule this earth. All right, but this scripture is not talking about the nations being saved, man. Let's get into it. And I saw no temple therein, for Yahweh, the Lord Almighty, Yahweh, and the Lamb are the temple of it, man. That's our safe house. That's gonna be our protection. You see that? So not a physical temple. We're not gonna need that. Everything's gonna be rebuilt, but initially everything's gonna be a desert, destroyed over there in that land, just like America. All right, and the city had no need of the sun. Now that no need of the sun is talking about having to be taught. You know, let me get that real quick. It says neither of the moon to shine in it, for the glory of Yahweh did lighten it. Look at that, man. That's the point. Before we even get to the scripture in Revelation 21:24, he got to understand the light. All right, shall lighten it. There go that it again, right? So now let me get this real quick. Let me see. This is Hebrews 8:10. um, it says, "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws in their mind." That makes us what? Righteous. That's what he's talking about. The Israelites are going to walk in that, in what? The covenant. All right? Being made righteous, being made pure in the light of it, which goes into righteousness, man. All right? Where was I at? For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord, I will put my laws in their mind. This is going to happen in the kingdom, in the wilderness, and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor, and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for all shall know me, from the least unto the greatest. All right, for I will be merciful to their unrighteousness. See, we were unrighteous. We was in darkness. It says what? The people that sat in darkness saw a great light. And now we're going to be not just seeing that light, but we'll say we exist. We are of the light, the children of light. All right, righteousness and wisdom being made perfect in the kingdom. That's not going to be, that covenant is not going to be given to any other nation. All right. So when it says the nation that are saved, it's talking about the Israelites. All right. So this is what it means where it says they'll have no need of the sun or of the moon anymore. We're not going to have to teach anymore. We're not going to have to be sent the comforter. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord. For all shall know me, from the least unto the greatest. For I will be merciful to their unrighteousness, and their sins and their iniquities will I remember no more. All right. So it says what? And that he saith, A new covenant he have made the first old. Now that which decayeth and waxes old is ready to vanish away. All right. So it's all about to vanish away. But now, talking about the old covenant. But in the kingdom, we're going to be under what? The new covenant. All right. So now let's get this real quick. It says what? Revelations 21 and 22. And if you understand Revelations 12, it speaks about, let's get it real quick. Revelation 12 and 1, it says, and there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun. See? So this is what it's talking about. That sun represents wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, which represents the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. So that's not going to have to be, uh, we're not going to lose that ever again. That's what the scripture's saying in Revelations 21. All right, the light of wisdom, the light of righteousness. Without wisdom from Yahweh, without knowledge of the Lord and understanding, we're in darkness. So let's get back to Revelation 21. It says in Revelation 21 and 21, and the 12 gates were 12 pearls. Every several gate was of one pearl. Right, let's get that real fast before we continue. Um, there you go. Salakia. There you go. There you go. It says Isaiah 60 and 8. Who are these that fly as a cloud and as doves to their windows, man? All right, who is that? That's going to be the elect that fly to their gates, to their places from the chariots. All right, so I may have to get that too, man, if I have time. All right, so let's get back to Revelation 21:24. And every several gate was of one pearl, and the street of the city was of pure gold, as it were transparent glass. And I saw no temple therein, man. For the Lord Yahweh, the Almighty, and the Lamb are the temple of it. That's going to be our protection, our safe house. All right. Um, and the city had no need of the sun, so we're not going to have to be taught anymore. Neither of the moon to shine in it, for the sun and the moon is going to be here forever. It's not talking about that. It's talking about symbolically. All right, we ain't gonna need that to be sent to us anymore. We're gonna be we're gonna send out the light. All right, we're gonna be made perfect. If you understand the scriptures where it says uh, Yahweh Shai was given the power of 7 pillars or 7 angels, something like that. Seven candlesticks. No, it's like let me just get it. I'm trying not to get it, but let me just get it. This is Revelations 5 and let me get it. Let me see. Here you go. Okay, here you go. Revelation 5 and 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, the four angels, archangels, and the throne of Yahweh, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb as it had been slain. See, this is after Yahweh has been exalted, just like the elect are going to be glorified and exalted when they're taken up into the chariots. And in the midst of the elders, the elect in heaven, stood a lamb as it had been slain. See, he already achieved it and overcome, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, man. So he was exalted on every level of wisdom, every given complete judgment, righteousness, right, and also power over all the angels in heaven. And it says what? Which are the 7 spirits of Yahweh sent forth into all the earth, man. So the angels are sent, the spirit of the Lord is sent, wisdom is sent, righteousness is sent to us. Now let's get back to the point. All right, let's get back to this real quick. Revelations 21 and 23. And the city, which represents the elect, you know, the city of the citizens, which are the Israelites. All right. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. See, for him to send that light to us anymore. All right, like it said in Revelations 5 and 6, because Yahweh Shai was exalted and given all this power and sent the Comforter to us, right? But we're not going to need that anymore in the kingdom. We're going to be the light, the children. Let's get that, you know. Matter of fact, I'm not going to, let's just continue. And I saw no temple therein, verse 22, for the Lord Yahweh Almighty and the Lamb are the temple of it, and the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon to shine in it. Right? For the glory of Yahweh did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. Right? So now let's understand that. That's in John. That he's the one that's going to keep us righteous. That's what he's saying right there. We're going to be perfect. So, matter of fact, is there? Yeah, I'm gonna get something else too. All right, so let's get John 1. Damn, I can't see these words. John 1 and 1. It says here, John 1 and 1, verse 4. In him was life, talking about Yahweh Shai, and the life was the light of men. So he's going to be the light thereof that's going to light up, keep us righteous. We're never going to go off again. That's right. It's talking about. All right, so let's keep going. And the darkness comprehended it not. Just like today, Jake can't comprehend uh, the truth and wisdom, the light. All right. So now, there was a man sent from Yahweh, whose name was John. The same came for a witness to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. And so yeah, faith, everything's going to be perfect in the kingdom. And he was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light, that was the true light, see, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Look at that, man. Okay, so he's the light that's going to light us. So it's really talking about the Israelites coming into the world, um, the world of the elect. But in the kingdom, every child that's born, the Lord said we're not going to have to, we're going to have basic understanding. You got to teach your children, growing up. But we're not going to teach them who Yahweh Shai is. They're going to grow up knowing who he is. All right? We're not going to have to teach neighbor anymore. Now, so let's get back to it. So Revelation 21 and 23, and the city had no need of the sun, see, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, neither the moon to shine in it. We ain't gonna need that to be sent to us anymore. While we're in darkness, we're gonna be in the light forever. For the glory of Yahweh, see, did lighten it. So he's gonna continue to glorify us, like lighting a candle. And the Lamb is the light thereof. He's the fire. All right. So Yahweh is his glory, his power is gonna it keep Yahweh Shai in righteousness and in power, and by doing so, he's gonna keep us in power. All right. So let's get that. Um, there you go. Isaiah 32 and 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness. See that? Yahweh Shai is going to reign in that light, in righteousness. And princes shall rule in judgment. See, we're going to hand out that judgment. We're going to walk in it. So let's get into it. Revelation 21 and 24. This is the controversial scripture, as the guy said. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Colon. It's letting you know. It's, the nations which are saved shall walk in the light of it. So let's deal with saved. Greek 4982. It says to deliver or protect. So what nations is the Lord promising to deliver and protect? Hassad. So the nations that are protected and delivered to keep safe. All right. Let's get this real quick. This is Romans 11 and 26. Right, let's start from 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, Hassad, lest ye should be wise in your own conceits. That blindness in part has happened to Israel. See, we were in darkness, and now the Lord is saying He's going to keep us in the light. We'll never be in darkness again. That's what Revelation 21 is talking about. We're going to be made righteous and perfect forever. All right? To thrive in it. We're going to live in it. Brought to life. All right, it's talking about what? His rest, his salvation. But the nations, when they come up to us, they're going to be bowing down. Lest ye should be wise in your own conceits. That blindness in part has happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles be come in. All right, until the rest of the elect come into the truth in this place. So that's Revelation 7, 144,000, a small multitude. Also, I think 2nd Ezra chapter 2 or 3, where it says the number that thou longest for. That's what the Lord is waiting, laboring for. And so all Israel shall be saved. See, the elect going to be saved, and then the rest of Israel after that is called the first fruits, the first resurrection. And then the heathen nations, they're not going to be given some form of status of living until 1,000 years later. So it's talking about walking in the light of it. It's talking about the elect taking part in the first resurrection. And then Israelites are going to be made perfect, and they're going to walk in the covenant. All Israel at the someday. And so all Israel shall be saved through Yahweh, from Yahweh to Yahweh Shai to the elect, and then the rest of the Israelites in reincarnation. As it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from who? From Jacob. But this is my covenant unto them when I shall take away their sins, man. So when we read this right here, where it says to deliver, to save, to or protect, to save or keep safe, who is that? It says the nations. Let me go back so I can see it. All this right here. But we're gonna start from right here. Matter of fact. All right. So the nations which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Shall walk in the covenant. Shall walk in righteousness. Shall walk in the life, the first fruits, the first resurrection, the promise. And who's promised to be saved and delivered and protected? Israel. All right. So he says what? And he's going to take away our sins. So we're not going to have need to be taught anymore. We're not going to go off anymore. All right. So in the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Let's get a precept real quick. Deuteronomy 33 and 26. There is none like unto the God of Yasharwan, which means upright one or prince or upright. That's why I said princes shall rule in judgment. Right. So the Lord is going to make us upright instead of being crooked. Who rideth upon the heaven in thy help, and is excellent, and his excellency on the sky. So when the Lord sends Yahweh Shai to help us, he leaps down out of heaven and literally comes down to the earth and delivers us. But this time it's going to be forever. The eternal God is thy refuge. See, Yahweh is going to be our temple, our refuge. And underneath are the everlasting arms. And he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee, and shall say, destroy them. Shit, me. The Lord said he gonna destroy these nations. He gonna thrust their ass out. Yahweh Shai gonna say, bring them hither and slay them before me. Not they're gonna be walking in the light of it and be saved. He said, destroy them. So I don't know what the hell this dude Hassad is talking about. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. Hmm. Hmm. And Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. See, they the main ones gonna be saved. The only ones gonna be saved. The fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and of wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. Happy art thou, O Israel. We're gonna be the ones happy in the kingdom. These other nations happy right now. Well, they were. Now we in the time of their judgment. But we're gonna be the ones happy. All right, walking in the light. Happy art thou, O Israel. Who is like unto thee? Who gonna be like us in the kingdom? O people saved of Yahweh. Look at that. O Israel, the people that's gonna be saved, man. So Revelation 21 and 24, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by Yahweh, the shield of thy help. That's gonna be our shield, our temple. And who is the sword of thy excellency? See, that goes into the sun and the moon and the star. We're going to be excellent, perfect. And thy enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. That's what's coming. See, Isaiah 30 and 15. For thus saith Yahweh, the power, the Holy One of Israel, in returning and rest shall ye be saved. See, we're going to return and rest. That's why we're going to be happy, man. All right, so we're going to walk in that light. I'm going to get what the light is also. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength, and ye would not, man. See, our people wouldn't listen. So we were in darkness. But the Lord said, we'll never go off again. All right, so it says here, verse 20, no, verse 19. For the people shall dwell in Zion at Jerusalem, thou shalt weep no more. He will be very gracious unto thee at the voice of thy cry. When he shall hear it, he will answer thee. All right. Talking about those that wait for him, talking about the elect. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but thy eyes shall see thy teachers. All right. And that so now, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand and when ye turn to the left. So it's talking about what? Walk in the way of righteousness. All right. So let's get that. So in this kingdom, only the elect are walking in righteousness. But in Yahweh Shem Shai's kingdom, his scepter, his rulership is going to be righteousness. Satan's rulership is wickedness. All right. So we're here to tell our people to walk in Yahweh Shai's ways. But in the kingdom, we're not going to have to. Isaiah 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh. with an everlasting salvation forever. So he's gonna make it permanent. We'll never go off again. Okay. So he's gonna continue. It's gonna be a continuous salvation for eternity. And ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded. See, world without end. We're gonna be made perfect. We're never gonna be ashamed again. All right. So see, prophesied in the book of Jeremiah, Jeremiah 23:5. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will raise unto David a righteous branch, talking about Yahweh Shai, and a king shall reign and prosper, and shall execute judgment and justice in the earth, and righteousness. And in his days Judah shall be saved, and Israel shall dwell safely. And this is his name, whereby he shall be called the Lord of righteousness. All right. So, and therefore, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that they shall no more say, Yahweh liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, deliverance, salvation, being saved. But Yahweh liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, out of America, and from all countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. This is Micah 4:1. But in the last days it shall come to pass that the mountain of Yahweh, the house of Yahweh, talking about the government of Israel, the elect, shall be established in the top of the mountain, meaning over every nation. And it shall be exalted above the hills, above the kingdoms and nations and people shall flow unto it. All right? Not walking in the light of it, but it's going to explain it in a different way. All right? So when you read Revelations 21 and 24, it talks about the nations which are saved shall walk in the light of it, meaning they're going to have what's the word I'm looking for? Part in the Lord's rest, all right? To enter into his rest. And Israel, the only one that have what's the word I'm looking for, man? The inheritance that's coming to them to be made righteous, to be made perfect. Thus all Israel shall be made perfect and saved. All right. So we're going to lead this world in righteousness. Okay, but the other nations aren't going to be saved. Where was that? And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain, the government of Israel, and to the house of Yahweh, and he will teach us of his ways. See? And we will walk in his paths. That's how they're going to walk in the paths. They're going to come up there and learn and be taught and get their behinds kicked and bring us riches and wealth, that they owe to us. And he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. And see, but us, we're not going to have to be taught anymore. The ones that are saved. It says what? For the law, righteousness, shall go forth from Zion. See, once the elect, the ones that are saved, are established over every nation, and we're made perfect and righteous, that's when the Lord is going to have those nations walk under us. And we're going to force those nations and teach those nations what righteousness is. That's going to be the law. They ain't going to be able to break it anymore, or we're going to break a foot off. You know where. All right. So they're not going to be saved. They're going to have to come up to us and bow before our feet, because Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is going to make them do that. It said the ships of Tarshish shall wait for thee, man. You're going to have ships docked outside of the ports waiting to give us the wealth. So they're not going to be walking in the light of it and being made perfect and in the covenant. That's only given to Israel. And many nations shall come and say, come and let us go up to the mountain of Yahweh, to Israel, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths, for the law shall go forth of Zion. All right, not from America and Esau, but from the Israelites. And literally from Zion, because that's where Yahweh Shai is going to be. And the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. See? The command is going to be sent out from Yahweh Shai. He's going to be in Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations and rebuke strong nations afar off. And they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. They're going to be made farming tools. All these nations are going to be building and resurfacing and fixing the earth after our commands and righteousness. Nation shall not lift up a sword against nation. No more Russia trying to come up against us like Hassad said. They're not going to be lifting up sword against us. Neither shall they learn war anymore. All right? But they shall sit every man under his vine and under his fig tree, and none shall make them afraid. So all the nations are going to be sit under their judgment. All right? And even in their lands, Moab might still be in Moab in that land, but it's gonna be named something else, and we're gonna be ruling that area, all over the earth. All right, but Edom's gonna lose all their land, and we will walk in the name of Yahweh. Salakia, verse 4. For the mouth of Yahweh have spoken it, for all the people will walk every one in the name of his God. So these nations are walking in the names of their idols right now. And we will walk in the name of Yahweh of our power forever and ever. So we're going to be the ones that's walking in the light of it. And we're going to lead these nations, and they're going to walk in the law. That's it. And we're going to rule them under the law. That's what it's saying. Don't break the rules. All right. So so I can keep going, but let's go back, man. Before I don't want to make this too long. Let's read that. Revelations 21 and 24. And the nations of them which are saved. All right. The nations of who? The nations of the 12 tribes, the Israelites. But the elect. And nations just means a group of people. That's all it means. In the ancient times, it would be, in the Old Testament, you would go to like Gar or Gawayam. Gawayam would mean the foreign nations. Uh, uh, Gar is an Israelite, a foreign Israelite, lacking inheritable rights. So it's an interchangeable word. All right, nations or Gentiles. But nation just means tribe. All right. It says a tribe, ethnos. All right. Ethnos. A tribe, especially a foreign. It says non-Jewish one, usually by implication a pagan. So that you could say a Gawayam, which would be a foreign or a nation. But now, a company, a troop, or swarm. See, a company is talking about the elect. This is that cosmos. All right. So the cosmos, the company of the 12 gates, the 12 tribes that are saved shall walk in the light of it, meaning they're going to walk in the covenant, the rest, enter into his rest. And a multitude of individuals of the same nature or genus, all right, the human family, a tribe, nation, people, group, in the Old Testament, foreign nations, Gawayam or Gar, not worshiping the true power, pagans, Gentiles. See, Paul uses the term for Gentile Christians, which would be um, Israelites. Gar. Okay. So it's an interchangeable word, man. So right here it's talking about the Israelites, and the nations which are saved shall walk in the light of it. So like I'm gonna bring this right here. All right. So let's deal with the light of it. Let's get that real quick. So we're gonna walk in righteousness. We're gonna walk in the covenant. This is why Revelations 20:6, blessed and no, actually here you go. I'll go there. Verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. See, that's what it's talking about. They're going to be walking in the light of it, sitting on thrones, saved, protected, and judgment was given unto them. See, salvation and righteousness. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahushua. So the same ones that were back in the ancient times that were beheaded for Yahushua and for the word of Yahweh, and with and so the ones that believed in the word later after Yahushua were beheaded and may be beheaded now, um, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his, charagma. That's talking about the ones today. So we're still fighting against that same dragon, that same system, that same nation, Edom, that same spirit of wickedness, even to this day. But we're gonna get the victory in this last temptation. All right. Or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Yahweh Shai 1,000 years. That's for the elect. But the rest of the dead lived not again until the 1,000 years was finished. Talking about these nations. All right, so they're gonna be in hardcore slavery for 1,000 years. So so they ain't gonna be walking in nothing. They're gonna be crawling. This is the first resurrection. So the first resurrection means to stand up again. So when the Lord stands us up again in the light, walking, right? Instead of being made to lay down so nations could walk over us, we're going to walk over the nations. And that's the first resurrection. But the second is when the Lord is going to allow the nations other than Esau, they're going to be erased to have some form of status, and they're going to be under the law of the lawgivers, which is the light givers, which is going to be the Israelites. Blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. All right, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. Why? Because blessed and holy is he that have part in the first resurrection. On such the second death have no power, because the rest going to be destroyed under the destruction. Saved from what? The destruction that's going to happen in this place, Babylon. And but they shall be priests of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. So those elect are going to have part and be able to help to usher in the kingdom, just like we're doing now. All right, but the rest of the Israelites are going to be born as babies into the kingdom after getting destroyed now in resurrection, reincarnation. All right, so Revelation 21, so like 21 and 24, and the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it. So the tribes of them, or the elect, Revelation 7, 12 tribes, right? 144,000 from each tribe, which are saved, shall walk in the first resurrection, or in the light of it, in righteousness, being made perfect. But through them all Israel shall be saved because of Yahweh Shem Shai. He's going to make sure we're perfect forever. All right, so now let's get the light real quick. Well, matter of fact, I might just leave that there, and I'll do a lesson on the shall walk in the light of it a little bit later. With that, I'm gonna say shalom. So this focus was the nations of them which are saved, and those nations of them which are saved shall be the elect of Israel, which will lead to all Israel being saved and walking in the covenant and in righteousness and in truth and wisdom and being made perfect, never sinning, never going off again. Because why? Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai shall be our righteousness. All right, let's get that real quick. All right, so this is where was I? Isaiah 51:6. Lift up your eyes to heaven, to the heavens, and look upon the earth beneath, for the heavens shall vanish away like smoke, the destruction, and the earth shall wax old like a garment, and they that dwell therein shall die in like manner. But my salvation shall be forever, and my righteousness shall not be abolished. So once we're made righteous, we're going to be made perfect, man. And it shall never be abolished again. But these other nations, they still going to live and die in reincarnation. All right. But what it says, he's going to be what? Yahweh Shai is going to be called the Lord our righteousness. All right. For he is our righteousness, man. So, that's right, man. So I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to make this too long. I'm trying to make them short and sweet. But Yahweh Ratazah go into the rest of this lesson dealing with the ones that are saved shall walk in the light. What is that light that it's talking about? And the kings of the earth shall bring their honor unto it. That's it. That's what it's talking about, the nations. We're going to be the ones that's walking in the light. And those nations are going to bring their riches and wealth to us. How did he say that's not talking about Israel? He said it boldly too. Let's get it real quick.
This. Somebody said that's talking about Israel. Wrong. But that's okay.